Hi everyone, welcome back. In this section, we are going to cover what we call sales presentations. And typically, every time you're dealing with any type of sale, you typically have to meet with buyers, prospective customers, and you have to give them a presentation, or you need to talk to them about your product or service. And typically that is done through a PowerPoint presentation or something that you already have printed as a printed presentation that you can deliver to your customer. And the sales presentation is a very critical step in actually generating sales, because that's the way you are communicating to those customers the value proposition, the differentiation that we talked about that your product has, and do it in such a way that is simple, to the point, and convincing to that particular customer. So when we talk about a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation for sales, what I usually suggest is that the presentation has to be no more than 8 slides. And each of those slides has a very specific function in what it's supposed to do for that particular process of delivering the sales presentation. The first slide obviously is the title of your company name, the title of the presentation, what is it that you're trying to sell to the customer, and your contact information, your email address, your phone number. How is the customer going to reach you? So typically the very, very first slide is almost like your business card. You're presenting your business card on the computer screen or on the wall if you're projecting the presentation. The second slide is where you actually articulate the customer need, or what we call the customer pain. So if you're selling a specific product that addresses a specific need for the customer, the second slide basically describes that need, that requirement. Maybe your customer is looking for a new computer, or a new piece of software, or is looking for a new construction material. So what you're trying to do is articulate the need, just to make sure that the customer understands that you're actually selling them a specific requirement, or you're selling something that is going to meet the specific requirements for that particular need, or that particular pain point, as we call it. The next slide is what we call the solution slide, and that is, I articulated the pain point for the customer in the prior slide. Now what I'm going to do is articulate the solution to the problem with my product. So the third slide, slide number 3, basically talks about how my product delivers a solution to the need that the customer has articulated to us. That's slide number 3. Slide number 4 refers to the benefits and differentiators of your product. Remember, in the first and second segments that we talked about the value proposition and product differentiation. This is where you're going to talk about why is my product better than anybody else in the competition, and what are the actual benefits that my product is going to deliver in fixing that requirement or fixing that need that you as a customer may have. And that's slide number 4. Slide number 5, you're going to talk about the experience that you bring to the table by having that customer buy your product. So a lot of times when we sell products or services, what we're doing is we're also selling our expertise, we're also selling our experience. So you're articulating that to the customer, saying, not only are you buying my product, but with it, you're buying 30 years, 20 years of experience in that specific marketplace. So you can rest assured that we know what we're doing, we're going to do it in a cost-effective way, and we are going to do it with minimal risk to you as a customer. So it's extremely important that that experience comes through very loud and clear when you're articulating that value proposition that you're delivering to the customer. The next slide, basically the slide number 6, is what are the differences between your company and other companies. Now we're talking about the company level, not at the product level. We already talked about product differentiations. This is basically about company differentiation. And why that is important is perhaps you're selling to a customer who values the fact that they want their provider to be local. So if you're competing with companies that are based outside the city or outside the area that you're serving, that's a value advantage to you, a very, very valuable advantage to you. So you want to make sure that the differences between companies is highlighted in terms of what you bring to the table that is different than any other company around the area, above and beyond what the product differentiation capabilities are. The next one is about the slide number 7 is about the company itself. How long has it been in business? Who are the key management team that makes this company successful? What are the kinds of expertise that you have? What are the kinds of locations that you serve? And what are the attributes that allow you to provide a very, very effective service at a very affordable cost? Those are the things that you have to really focus on slide number 7. Finally, slide number 8 is the summary slide. And that's where you bring everything together in a very succinct way, meaning that you're going to basically summarize everything that you cover in the last 7 slides in a sentence or a couple of sentences that let the customer know that you understood their pain and their requirements, that you have the solution to solve the pain and requirement, and that you can do it in a very affordable and low-risk manner. And finally, that summary slide has to contain, again, your contact information. How can they contact you? Via email, via phone. Make sure that you leave something behind. Make sure that you have a printed version of that presentation that you can leave behind to the customer so they have a way to access the information. And that really allows you to deliver a very effective way to convey that value proposition that we talked about at the beginning in a way that is organized, short and to the point, and very effective. In our next segment, we are going to cover what we call the sales cycle. And basically the sales cycle is what happens after you've delivered the sales presentation. What are the next steps that will take you to closing a contract?